Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Louise and I am an actor and an audition coach. And today we're going to be looking at the positive and negative aspects of choosing a really popular or really well-known speech for your drama school audition. Now, like always, if you find this material valuable and useful, just make sure that you like this video, that you click subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So we might as well start with the positives because there are positives for choosing a speech that a lot of people do for your drama school auditions. So to start with, you know for a fact that it is tried and tested. So in a sense, you know that it's a good piece of material because in the end, people wouldn't be choosing the speech if it wasn't good. So at least you've got that going for you. You know that the speech is going to provide you with some kind of quality. So if it has provided other people who have auditioned and applied with good results, then the likelihood is then that will be at least a safe bet, a safe choice for you for your drama school auditions. Another really good thing with choosing these kinds of speeches is that the panel will recognize it. The likelihood is they will have seen it many, many times in the past, so they know the character, they know the situation, so it'll be easy for them to engage with. They don't have to spend all of this time trying to kind of figure out the story and what you're on about. They can actually just pay attention to your acting because they know the speech, they know what's going on. It's also really beneficial for your redirection with the panel because they don't have to spend loads of time trying to get the context and analysing what the speech is all about so that they can understand it. They just delve right into it because they already know it. So it actually gives you more time in the redirection because you're both on the same page. Another really good thing about using speeches that everybody uses is the fact that they will be easy to find. They will likely be easy to find on online resources. People will probably have done like YouTube videos or even actually have their self-tape audition posted online somewhere doing those speeches. It can also mean that they're really easy to find in bookshops, or your mate's got it, or your teacher, like your drama teacher or your tutor, maybe they have a copy of it as well. So it'd be really easy to locate. So it means that you're not having to dedicate loads of time to finding your audition material because it's right there and ready for you. What I would say though is if you are going to go down that route of actually finding something that's really accessible, don't just find the speech, make sure that you read the full play. You need to have the full context. So regardless of whether you're choosing something that's really popular or really obscure, just make sure that you're reading the full text. And the fourth thing is, I mean, we've already touched on it slightly already, is that the writing will be good. Again, people aren't going to be choosing speeches that are absolutely pants. They're going to be choosing speeches that are of a high quality, and that's the thing that makes them popular. So the likelihood is these speeches will be well structured, that the words themselves will be good, that the journey will be clear through the speech, and that it will be effective, that it'll actually be kind of catered towards what you want to do for a drama school audition. Now, here are some of the negative aspects of choosing really popular speeches. So the first is this idea of comparison. So if an audition panel are seeing 5 or 10 or even 15 people do the same speech on the same day, automatically they're going to start comparing those people to each other. They won't be doing it deliberately. The likelihood is they'll be doing it subconsciously, but our minds naturally do that. It's just human nature. So we naturally start to kind of compare and contrast in terms of what other people have been doing because you're using the same material. And that could be a really good thing if you're kind of the top runner, but you don't want to run the risk of having your performance put up against somebody else's, because then that is that idea of having your choices, your creative intention kind of placed in a ranking order with other people. And also if it's a speech that has been on like a West End stage or something recently, so there was a time where Lungs by Duncan Macmillan was really, really popular for drama school auditions because it had just had its outing with Matt Smith and Claire Foy. So lots of people were bringing that in for their drama school auditions, and that's great because it's lovely material. But the natural thing is, if the panelists have seen that production, their minds are automatically going to go to what they've seen on a professional stage. And at this stage in your kind of journey applying for drama school, do you want to be compared to Claire Foy and to Matt Smith, who are kind of at the top tier of their careers right now? Another negative is that by choosing a really popular speech, it can also make you quite forgettable. So similar to that idea of comparison, if there are lots and lots of people doing the same speech, then it's going to be hard when they try and remember whilst writing notes and kind of conferring about who to send through to recall rounds or offer places to. If they're unable to actually kind of pinpoint, oh yeah, that person did this, if it's lots and lots of people doing the same speech, it will be harder to decipher and tell the difference between each person. And again, that sounds really cruel, it sounds kind of unfair, but human nature does kind of work that way, and the panelists aren't doing it deliberately. It's just if they've got lots and lots of people in a short space of time and they're all doing the same material, it's going to be hard to decipher between all of them. So the last thing that you want to be doing is blending into the background. You want to be standing out. So if by choosing a speech that not everybody has been doing, and that makes you stand out, then that would be a really good thing to do as well. Another negative is that it just doesn't have much of an element of surprise. Now, not that a panel will kind of get bored or jaded necessarily, but if it is just a kind of steady stream of people coming in with the same speech and doing the same words again and again and again, it becomes a bit of a kind of repeated exercise, a bit kind of lethargic, and yeah, it can go into those territories of being a bit boring. There's no element of surprise, there's no freshness there. And of course, your creative interpretation and the choices that you are kind of bringing to the forefront with a speech that's very well known and very and kind of overdone can set you apart and bring that element of surprise and freshness. The words themselves won't, the situation themselves won't, the character won't. So you run the risk, if you're choosing a speech that everybody is doing, then there is no element of surprise and it can become a bit stagnant. And the last thing in terms of the negatives for this, and this isn't actually true for the most part, but it is something that can be kind of misconstrued or assumed from a panel, is that if you are choosing speeches that are readily available online, that everybody is doing, that are really, really popular, that everybody knows about, it can appear like you just haven't put the effort into finding a speech, that you've just taken a speech that, oh, okay, well, everybody's doing that and I'll just do that. It can appear like you just haven't done the research, that you haven't delved into what could potentially set you apart from other people. You've just taken the first thing that is there. Like, popular speeches are kind of like low-hanging fruit. They're really easy to access. Whereas people that come in with speeches that are not as well known, it can appear like they've done loads of research, that they've really delved into it, that they read plays regularly, that they're really enthusiastic about finding writing that not everybody is doing, that's a little bit more obscure. And that can set those two people apart. So it's just something to think about, that it can be assumed that by choosing a really popular speech that you haven't actually put the effort in at all. And whether that is true or not true, running the risk is still there. So in the end, in conclusion, whether you choose a speech that is really, really popular and loads of people are doing, or whether you're choosing a speech that not many people are doing and it's a little bit more obscure, regardless of those things, make sure that you are choosing a speech that you like, that you feel a connection to, that you are inspired by, that you actually want to bring into an audition room. It's not enough to just kind of choose the latest thing, the latest kind of hot take in terms of the audition world, and just present that because you think that it's going to be beneficial for you. You've got to be choosing it for a reason, because the panel will probably ask you, why did you choose this material? So you've got to have an answer ready for them, and it's got to be something that is truthful. So I hope you found this video useful and valuable, and if you did, then make sure that you click like and that you subscribe to the channel for more of videos like this. But until next time, thanks so much. Bye.